Alright guys, I have yet another coolant leak. This car, the cooling system has not been great. Right here is the expansion tank. This is the second one expansion tank, and this is about the this is the third radiator in this car. So I'm not sure what BMW is doing with the shoddy plastic parts, but so what happened is, if you can see here, there's like a top and a bottom. So those two pieces, I'm guessing they're kind of ultrasonically welded together, or some sort of adhesive holding them together. It started to separate among those two, between those two pieces. So I JB weld it, and everywhere I JB weld holds, and then it just keeps moving down the line. I pulled it out last night and put a good amount of JB weld on it, but I guess not enough. So I need to pull it out again, flip it over, be able to JB weld up under the underside of that lip. It comes out pretty easy. There's two screws. There's one here and one there. Those two screws, and then you have the return hose on the top, feed hose on the bottom, and then the sensor, the coolant level sensor underneath it. You got to remember to unplug, and it comes right out. So I'm going to pull it out now. Alright guys, this is pretty much the only three tools you need to pull this out. Needle nose pliers, a slotted screwdriver, and a 10mm socket. We're going to start by pulling these little retaining clips. This is how BMW does their coolant hoses. They're a really smart design. Instead of a hose clamp, the inside of this fitting has a chamfered edge with an O-ring, and there's a blade, and this kind of just fits down in there. So just pull this up, and then that releases it. A little wiggle, and that should come right loose. There you go, and that's loose. We're just gonna hold that one out of the way. There's another one down the bottom. If you look right there, we need to also pull that little clip up, and then that'll release the bottom. So I'm going to pull the clip up, and then that's what I'm going to use the slotted screwdriver for. I'm going to push that one off the slotted screwdriver, because you really can't get in there with your hands, and you have no way to get any kind of torque on it, or you can't really even wiggle it. So you can't get your hand in there. A little slotted screwdriver right in the gap that should pop right off. So the hose just came right off. You pulled that little clip up, and use the slotted screwdriver to kind of pry it back, and it came up fine. Now we're gonna pull take these these are 10mm, and take these two 10mm off. They're not a lot of torque or anything on them. You don't want to drop them. This is a pretty tight engine bay, and you'll be fishing for them or having to pull the pan off the bottom. There's a big aerodynamic liner on the bottom. We'll be pulling that off to try to find them.
You should come right off, right? You unplug the sensor?
Yeah. So there's these two screws that hold it. There's also a pin that goes into a rubber rubber donut. So here, if you look over here, this green donut right here, that pin goes in that donut, and that's kind of what supports the bottom. So now that this is loose, you can pop it up, and then here is your coolant level sensor. You just got to kind of squeeze this little back section.
Oh yeah, you can see the water.
And then it comes off. And that's it. So
that water.
So here you can see where I've JB welded, and it seems like I just got to keep moving around. This part held well, but now this corner's coming off, so I need to redo this. I need to get more JB weld on this corner. It's separating right here, right in there. It's still leaking from, so I'm not quite sure how, but it is. So hopefully I can seal it up, and it will hold for a couple days until my appointment at the dealership. Alright guys, this is JB Weld JB Quick. It sets up in, I don't know, 5 to 15 minutes or so. If you guys haven't used this stuff, or don't have it in your toolboxes, you definitely should. Stuff is it's pretty good. The regular JB Weld's good too, but that really takes about 24 hours to set up. It might be a little stronger at the end of the day, but for just trying to patch up the expansion tank, the quick should work fine. Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's really good stuff. They say you can even like drill and tap it if you get enough of it on there. I've never tried doing that, but it's pretty good stuff. Alright guys, so I apply the JB Weld. Got it on there pretty good. Put it on there. Really loaded it up around this seam. It's only got a hole for a couple days. Doesn't have to look pretty. Can't even see it once it's in the car, but I'm just hoping that it holds. I mean, there's a lot of pressure in this thing. I'm not sure how many psi, but you know, all that steam builds up a lot of pressure. And then when it starts leaking, then there's more air than water, and so it expands even faster probably. But hopefully that holds. I'm going to put it back in now, and I'll give you an update in a day or so.